So Maya, there you go.
Start by thanking y'all for coming out this morning to listen to me talk about my dream and my vision that I have for the future of women fitness. It is Finish Her Fitness. But before we get into that, I want to let y'all know a little bit about myself. My name is Maya Simone. I am originally from Jackson, Mississippi, born and raised. And if you know anything about Mississippi, fitness is something that's not really high on the totem pole for a lot of people. I've been in Colorado for almost a year now. Next month we'll make it official, a year that I've been here in Colorado Springs. And to be honest, it was a real culture shock coming here. And I was introduced to fitness at a young age. My mom started her fitness journey and I was inspired. She lost over 100 pounds while still raising 6 children. So I was active in high school, and then my journey started in college. I gained the freshman 15 doing things that college students do. And that freshman 15 quickly turned into the freshman 50. And before long, I was looking in the mirror and I couldn't even recognize myself. I didn't know who I was anymore. And I knew that something had to change, and it started with me. So I got back into fitness. I started working out with a male personal trainer, and I was getting results, but I knew that his workout style was something that I couldn't sustain long term. I could not keep going and killing myself every single day. And so I decided to start working out on my own. I used some of the things that I learned from him, along with some TikTok and some YouTube, and I started creating workouts that was for me and what I like to do. And my body started to change, and my friends took notice, and they asked me if I could help them with their journey. I had found my passion. This was something that I fell in love with. Not just helping women find their strengths and start their fitness journey, but it was the connections and the relationships that we were building along the way. So here's just a few pictures, my mom and her journey when I started my journey. And me and my clients that turned to friends. Some of these women came in as strangers, not knowing each other, but they left with lasting relationships, and they're still friends to this day. So the start of Finish Our Fitness began when we were traveling to different gyms and experiencing different gyms. And I thought a lot of my own personal grievances that I experienced in the co-ed gyms were just me, until I started doing like market research, and I started having candid conversations with all these different women. And I realized that I wasn't the only one. I wasn't alone in these feelings and emotions that comes with going to co-ed gyms. A lot of women experience gym anxiety. For the first time in my life, I experienced gym anxiety moving to Colorado, walking into these spaces. Safety concerns. At least 1 in 5 women experience some form of harassment in a co-ed gym, and those are the women that reported it, And as far as accountability and sisterhood, I want to take a different approach to fitness as a whole. I want to bring back that sense of community and building relationships when it comes to working out. So my business model is a little different from traditional gyms. I'll have different zones that'll be focused more on, we'll have zones for relaxation. Now, I'm still in the development stage and ideal process of this vision that I have. But this is just a few things that's on my business model, as far as like having monthly self-care events for the members of the gym so that they can have a chance to connect and also actually spend time with themselves. Also implementing a 24-hour locked door policy. So it's like you can't just come in and out whenever you please. You have to have a member, and this keeps the people that's on the inside protected and feeling safe while they're in there. So let's connect. I am in the business of building relationships, and I'm always open to new relationships and meeting new people and expanding my network. So I am looking for partners, people who are interested in joining the movement, women that are interested in joining the movement. I am looking for potential mentors who can help me with my business, and not only help me with my business, but who are in the fitness realm, has open gyms, or people who have gyms that can help me. And finally, potential investors. Not now, but when the time comes, let's keep in contact. You can scan this QR code right here You can follow my journey. This QR code gives you access to my Instagram, my Facebook, my YouTube, all of the above. You can contact me. You can follow along the journey while I build this. And before long, Finish Her Fitness will be in a neighborhood near you. So again, thank y'all so much for coming out this morning. My name is Maya Simone.
Are there any questions from the group? All right, we'll start here with Frank.
I'm not a lady, I can still ask a question.
Yes.
But my question is, how did she get in a culture where that's never even talked about or considered? How did she get to a place of fitness?
So my mom started with building connections and relationships. She's a national organizer for this group called Girl Trek, in which she started it. It was just a few women, and it has grew to over 1 million women all across the world. And it's only encouraging women to go outside and walk. And it's specifically for African American women because our death rates are the highest when it comes to these things. And so that's how she got into her fitness journey. She started with building relationships and just getting out on the street and walking. And the encouragement from the relationship she was building pushed her to keep going, and she was developing who she was. She started having kids young. And so she never had the pleasure of being a independent adult woman in her lifetime. So she had to learn that while being married, while having 6 kids, and while doing all those extra things. So yeah.
All right, Maya, shout out. We are here from Thrive Network.
Yes.
Ladies, supporting Maya. We've seen her grown in Thrive Network, and she's just got an amazing story. So my question is, how exactly did you come up with the name for your business?
So it started with just Monday through Friday. Fridays, I would call Fridays Finish Her Fridays. And so it was like we work out all week, and on Fridays we do cardio, and it's like this is the push to get us through the weekend. We're gonna go hard on Friday, you do what you do on the weekends, and we start back Monday, okay? And so it started with just Finish Her Fridays, but it had a little catchy ring to it. And so just switching out Fridays to fitness and finishing her is a process where I'm helping beginners or people who are just inconsistent with their journey finish what they start. And so that's why I decided to continue with the name Finish Her Fitness.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Coming from Louisiana and having had spent a lot of time in Mississippi as well. But you mentioned something that I thought was particularly notable, that you said that when you saw the problem, you made a conscious notion that if I'm going to change anything, I need to change myself first. Mm-hmm. What was that realization for you, and what was it like when you found others who were in that same place?
For me, I let so much of life get in the way that it was taking over me. And so when I said that I got to the point where I didn't even recognize myself in the mirror, that was real. It was like I walked past the mirror and I stepped back again. I'm like, who is this woman? I didn't even know her. And I wasn't really taking notion of what was going on. I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't being present to understand what was going on. And so it was a lonely journey at first. And I didn't want to do it alone anymore. And so even with working out with my trainer, it was still feeling very lonely because I wasn't making new friends. I wasn't having the connections that I love. And so I fell in love with the connection part more so than working out. Us getting together, us venting, us sitting in that chit chat and having that time together is what really helped me grow in my journey even more. And watching, I built my confidence back up. And then watching the ladies that I was working with build their confidence back up as they're getting stronger and gaining more relationships.
Thanks, Maya. It's great to see you here. Thanks for sharing. And your passion is palpable. And I'm just curious, what area have you started looking at areas that you would like to serve? Being at a gym, are you looking to have one home gym space? Ideas, since you're still working on your vision and what that looks like.
So since I am still in the development and ideal phase, I haven't really came up with the exact location I wanted to have the space in, but I would future thinking ahead like to expand because I want to keep the gyms small so that people can really get to know each other within those spaces and not really just having it a big broad thing. I wanted for us to feel exclusive but in a good way. It's like we go here and we know that this is for us and it's not just something another gym, because Colorado Springs has over 81 plus gyms in this area alone, and I don't just want to be another gym, you know. And so that's why I am really doing the research and really trying to do it the best way possible so it can be something lasting and it can grow to have multiple locations while still giving people, the members, the same experience. So yeah.
Hi, Maya. Thanks for sharing it. Your passion and authenticity shows through, and I love that. And I'm curious, as someone who's been in our community for almost a year now, what have you found to be like the greatest source of help? Because when you move to a new
Facebook is what I used when I first got here. I joined all the different Facebook groups of all the things that I wanted to do in the neighborhood. I wanted to go hiking. I wanted to meet more people that's like me. I wanted to do all these different things. And so I got on Facebook and I joined all of these different groups. And they was having events. I was reaching out to different people and I just showed up. I didn't know what to expect or who I was gonna meet in these spaces. I just showed up and I did it alone. I did it scared and I did it nervous and anxious, but I did it and I met so many people. And from one meeting, somebody was like, "Hey, you should go here." And I went and I did it. So that's how I found out about Thrive originally, from somebody that I met in talking about my business that was telling me about the Thrive program. So I was like, okay, I'll sign up and see what it's about. Same with the WCLI. It was the same thing for me. Somebody recommended that to me and I was like, let me try it out and see what it's about. And I did. And that's kind of how, like, just word of mouth, honestly, from, but Facebook is what stemmed it. And that's how it grew.
What beautiful. I'm just so inspired by your story. It's beautiful, like you said, that you are starting with yourself, because that allows your authenticity and your genuineness to seep through. Well, one question I have for you, because you're still in your development stages, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to kind of break your barriers, even today as we're talking. And if money wasn't an option, because we already know that is a factor, right? Especially when we want to serve, money comes into place. If you had to think about it and money wasn't an option,
it will be a commercial size business, a commercial size facility. I want to be able to connect women with other women trainers. I want to have women nutritionists. I want to connect with women healthcare providers as well, to do seminars to teach women about their bodies and how to protect their bodies on their own. I would like to offer classes that help women feel alive and empowered and also sexy, and giving them different things, giving them access to different things that they won't be able to do on a normal basis or in any regular gym. So that's kind of like I have big plans, big visions for how I see it. I also was thinking of catering the zones to correlate with the cycle of the women's cycle. We have 4 phases in our cycle, and a lot of women don't know how to life sync with their cycle. They don't even know the different phases. Some people think that it's only the 7 days that you bleed, but no, it's 28 days. And every week you're a different person and you feel different. And so really helping them understand how to make their life better in those areas. So yeah.
I've got a question for you. Of all the places in the country, what made you choose Colorado Springs?
So Colorado Springs chose me, honestly. My brother was already out here for the last 3 to 4 years, and he's in the military. And so I came out here to be a full-time aunt to my nieces, and I fell in love with the city. I fell in love with the community here, and it was a lot more progressive than where I'm from. And so being here, like I said, I went from one of the most unfit states, Mississippi, to one of the fittest states in the country. And I just knew this is the place where I wanted to be. I feel alive. I feel more empowered to do these things. And it made my vision become a lot more clearer moving here. So
Good morning, Maya. Thank
Good
you for
morning.
your presentation. I'm Suzanne Tuling with Brand Ascension. Do you happen to know Sandy Griffin?
actually, I've had a one-on-one with Sandy.
good.
Griffin, so yes.
Because she is running that Health and Fitness Expo. She runs that every year. And she knows almost everybody in town. So she would just definitely be a great connection for you. Also, my second question is, what do you believe your superpower is?
My superpower is the ability to connectedness. I feel like I have such a strong sense of bringing people together and bringing people together on a positive standpoint when it comes to not just when it comes to just making lasting impressions and stuff like that. I feel like that is my superpower. I am very extroverted to a sense, but in a good way. And I have the ability to influence the people that's around me. People can feel my energy when I come around, and it's always good and positive vibes. And I feel like that's a superpower to be able to change the vibe of the room that you go into.
Thank you, Maya. I love what you said, and I'm going to add this sort of as a tagline probably to all of our stuff, but Colorado chose me. Colorado Springs chose me. I think that's fantastic because I feel like a lot of us have felt that way when we got here, not realizing the path that got us here, but then once we did, feeling very welcome. While you and I are working together, and your presentation was so exciting for me, will you please share with everybody about the zones that you came up with? This concept I think is very intriguing.
So the zones will be it's 3 different zones, 3 to 4 zones, and one zone is for relaxation. So like it'll be the mood will be set for relaxation, like yoga, stretching, when you just want to go in and relax. And it'll be the color, the vibe, the scent, the music, everything will be catered to relaxation. Another zone would be for high intensity workouts, for something where you want to just be in your own lane. When you're really just not in the mood to be social, you want to put your headphones on, you want to do what you do. So the music in that room, the vibes, the lighting, all of that would be catered to those feelings and those emotions. And then when you're feeling a little bit more social and you're ready to mingle and you're ready to talk and chit chat, it will be a zone for that as well. So you will know when you're coming in, you will know which space to be in when whatever vibe that you're feeling for the day. So it also gives women a guideline to what to do when they go into the gym as well. So I thought that it was a really good idea to add a really different approach when it comes to gyms, because when you go in, everything is just everywhere and you kind of just got to figure it out as you go. And so like having those guidelines to show like, okay, so this is for this space and this is for this space. And when you're in those spaces, you know how to interact with the people that's around you. So
I remember. First of all, I'm looking around the room today and I'm going, my, look how many people of color are here. We have to have you do this every 6 weeks just so we can draw them in. I love that. It's so cool. But your name, and I wonder if you've ever considered this, because many times people, and Suzanne back here, the brand lady, she probably can affirm this as well. Sometimes we miss natural branding and opportunity. Maya Simone is an incredible marketing name. It really is. So are you really elevating that name and elevating that as part of who you are and out to community? And you're beautiful.
thank you.
Both those things together with a beautiful marketing name, I think you should really consider how that name is going to serve you.
I have considered that. I have. Maya Simone is a brand in itself. I do more than just fitness. Outside of this, I model, I do poetry, I perform my poetry at different spaces. So Maya Simone is a brand in itself outside of Finish Her Fitness. So it's tied together.
Hi, Maya. I'm Ro.
Hi, Ro.
I have a wellness center here in town that I just opened, and I love the starting phase that you're in because I think it's so exciting, and I love that part, like getting ready to move forward and build it. My question is, what can we as the Colorado Springs community do to help you?
The Colorado Springs community can continue to help me by being supportive. I enjoy I see a lot of familiar faces in the crowd, people who I've connected with in other forums and rooms, and I just want to continue support. Like I said, I'm looking for mentors. I'm looking for partners. I'm looking for women who are willing to join the movement with me and to come along and help me with this journey. Because I don't want to do it alone. I don't want to do it by myself. I want to connect and work with other women who has the same vision of this movement and empowering women and strengthening women. So, yeah.
One more question.
Yeah, you have a lot of good ideas and concepts and all that. Have you ever considered writing a book and sharing it with everyone, even beyond Colorado Springs?
I am a writer. I got my minor in college was in English and literature, so I do love to write, and I got like 1,200 journals written of like my progress. Like I keep track of what's going on in my life, and so eventually I will be writing a book. I will be putting out that information to the world so they can see and get to know me on that level. So yes, that is something that I would like to do in the future.
All right, any other further questions? This is a chatty group today. Oh, we got one more question. Letting it flow today.
Maya, I just want to say again, I love your idea. I love everything you represent. I'm also working with young women in various parts of their life, and I love that you give women hope. You know, you help them to change. So, what would be your biggest message for girls who feel like they don't have confidence? How would you help them?
My biggest message would be that you are the most dependent person in your life. You're going to be there for yourself at the end of the night. You're going to be there for yourself when you wake up. You're going to be there for yourself always. So you should always take care of yourself first. It's not self-care is not selfish. It's something that a lot of women tend to put to the side. We put everything else before ourselves. And in order for you to really thrive, in order for you to really be successful, you have to first love you. You have to first pour into you. And when your cup begins to overflow, that is when you can help other people with the overflow, not pouring out your cup and becoming empty. So, yeah, that's it.
All right. Absolutely astounding. Give it up for Maya again. She did a great job.